Welcome back, friends, to the Missing 411 podcast. This is the show where we dive deep into the thousands of missing persons cases that defy all conventional logic. We're talking about disappearances from national parks to suburban areas, cases that reveal patterns so consistent, they are absolutely chilling. Our focus today is purely on these unexplained vanishing acts and the terrifying possibility that connects them. Before we unveil today's mysteries, a quick but critical warning to our community. If you are reading comments on this platform, you must be extremely vigilant. There are predators using our name and logo, digital scavengers attempting to exploit the curiosity and concern of our audience. If you see a comment mentioning a Telegram account or any unsolicited request for funds, please ignore it completely. These scammers are pure garbage, spending hours in their dark basements trying to steal from honest people. We are actively fighting them every single day, but your awareness is our greatest defense. Remember, our only official storefront for the missing 411 books and periodicals is at nobigfootsearch.com. Do not be a victim of these unscrupulous individuals who are ripping you off with massively inflated prices elsewhere. On a much better note, thank you to everyone who has supported our documentaries, particularly Missing 411, the UFO Connection. The response has been humbling. Nearly all of you have viewed it, and we are grateful. If you want to see more of the bizarre anomalies we track, please follow our Twitter feed. We post daily about events that fit the profile of the missing. Just the other day, we had the incredible story of 2 deer found swimming miles from any shore by the Alaska State Troopers. The deer were exhausted, shivering, and immediately curled up for warmth on the boat. My question is simple. How did 2 animals end up in the middle of a vast, frigid channel, miles from the nearest island? Were they transported and then carelessly dropped back into our reality? Now, let's pivot to a major environmental concern that might be subtly connected to the disruption in our natural world: chronic wasting disease, or CWD. This neurological disaster, a prion disease like mad cow disease, has been confirmed in Florida. It is incredibly resilient. You can't kill it with normal sanitation. This is far more serious than the authorities are letting on. The disease is spreading over hundreds of miles, completely undetected, suggesting an unnaturally fast, almost instantaneous transmission. If it shows up in one remote county, trust me, it's already everywhere within a 500-mile radius. The official line is that no human has been affected, but they told the people in Europe the same thing about mad cow disease right up until the point they couldn't deny it anymore. If you are a hunter, you are an idiot if you eat venison without testing it first. This strange, aggressive disease, with its rapid, unexplained migration across state lines, fits into a larger context of things being fundamentally wrong with the wilderness. It is a subtle signal that the natural order is being violently disturbed by an unseen mechanism. Our first case that demonstrates this disturbance takes us back to August 1953, in the unforgiving terrain of the Mendocino National Forest. This is the disappearance of 77-year-old Marian Trobaugh, a former police officer and experienced outdoorsman. Marian was with his nephew and friends, heading to a campsite on Hull Mountain, deep in a documented missing 411 cluster area. Marian, despite being in good shape, began to fall behind on the trail, which was well known and impossible to miss. His younger companions forged ahead, telling him they would wait for him at the camp. Here is the critical pattern we see time and again. Marian Trobaugh was last in line. This was the precise point of separation. He simply vanished between 2 known points on a clear path. When he didn't arrive, a massive multi-county search commenced. Over 75 people, jeeps, airplanes, and 8 separate bloodhound teams scoured the mountainside for more than a week. The dogs did find something near Elk Creek, tracks that suggested Marian had struggled to climb a steep embankment before heading upstream, only to have the trail end abruptly. The bloodhounds, trained to follow a scent across any terrain, lost the trail completely. How does an older man, moving slowly on a known path, simply disappear into thin air? The sheriff's final statement was telling. Everything humanly possible has been done. I don't know what else we could have done. There was literally nothing left to search for. This is where we must introduce the true nature of the phenomenon. the dimensional rift. We theorize that in these high-energy geological zones, like Hull Mountain, a localized temporary tear opens. This natural anomaly doesn't just make people vanish. It consumes them, displacing their physical form instantaneously. Marian didn't wander off. He was removed from our dimension entirely. Our second case, from 1947, further solidifies this theory. It concerns Tom Owens, a 49-year-old cook recovering from an illness, staying in a remote cabin near Milton, California. Tom arrived on the 25th of October, ready to recuperate in solitude. His planned stay was cut short by a terrifying encounter on the morning of the 26th. We know this because a realtor found the cabin unlocked and empty on the 28th. The only evidence left behind was in the garbage. Only 2 of the dozen eggs Tom brought had been eaten. He had breakfast that morning and then, whatever it was, it struck. Tom, sick and recovering, had no reason to walk. Yet, 2 miles from the cabin, searchers made an inexplicable discovery. Tom's sweater and his cap. Why would a sick man walk 2 miles? And why would he shed 2 pieces of essential clothing in October weather? This discarding of garments is a signature component of many missing 411 cases, suggesting a sudden, violent physical event that is not of his own choosing. The mystery deepened 5 years later. A cowboy on the nearby Ward Ranch found a human skull, just the skull, at the bottom of a ravine. It was a staggering 1.5 miles from where Tom's sweater and cap were found. The skull was missing the lower jaw and all upper teeth, matching Tom's reported dental condition. The Calaveras County Sheriff's Office spent 1.5 days intensely searching the ravine, looking for the rest of the body, for bones, for clothing, for the durable leather boots Tom would have been wearing. But they found nothing, just the isolated skull. This is simply not how human remains are found after 5 years. Ask yourself, if an animal dragged the remains, why only the head, and why leave no other trace of the body in that ravine? The fact that the area surrounding the skull was absolutely sterile is terrifying. It leads us back to the dimensional rift. Tom, likely disoriented by the initial encounter near the cabin, was pulled into the rift, an impossible doorway. The clothing was violently discarded in the process. The skull, found miles away and 5 years later, was a final, incomplete fragment violently expelled back into our dimension. A disturbing calling card left by the phenomenon itself. These are not traditional cases. The patterns, the point of separation, the missing clothes, the lack of scent, the impossible travel distances. They all speak to a force that is consistent, powerful, and utterly indifferent to human life. The disappearances of Marian Trobaugh and Tom Owens are not cold cases. They are proof of a terrible, hidden reality. I urge you to consider the evidence and draw your own conclusions about what is selectively removing people from our reality. Thank you for joining us today. Visit our website at nobigfootsearch.com and support our work so we can continue to investigate these unsettling truths. Until next time, stay aware and please be kind to the people around you.